Now improved to 10-1 when he plays a game for them. That's in 12 games. And
Say that again.
Made a difference. 10-1 since he's been in the lineup with the Golden State Warriors. 25 points tonight, 10 of 10 from the free throw line, 7 of 13. And the way he controls the games, he slows the pace down if he needs to. He gets people in the right spot, and he could play bully ball down low despite being just 6'7".
There were several plays in which Jimmy Butler confronted folks down in the post. You saw D-Lo get taken advantage of down in the paint. And this is the kind of swagger and the calm that Jimmy Butler brings. Look at him. He is not concerned. Even when they were down, he felt very calm in the way that he was approaching the game and making sure that he was making the moves right here that he can make. And one, get to the line, get those free throws. I got y'all. Don't worry about it. Get me the ball where I need to get it.
Jimmy Butler has the 5th most free throws by a Warrior this season, and he's only been on the team for 11 games.
That's crazy.
But
that's crazy.
That's an incredible stat for Jimmy Butler. But that stat for the team has changed this team's whole dynamic.
Sure.
It's catapulted this team into a big-time playoff threat to go deep into the Western Conference Finals. That simple stat, because what it has done, it's balanced out their offensive attack. And Bonte said he controls those possessions. Look at the efficiency by him and Steph. Steph took 20 shots to get 40 points. He took 13 shots to get 25. I mean, the efficiency's there. And to me, it helps their transition defense because they got much better controlled half-court possession. Also, the free throw. Obviously, you get free points, right? You get to set your defense. You get to rest. You get to communicate. It's all good, the free throw. So to me, the points and all those things I just mentioned, but it also has balanced out their offensive attack. They don't rely exclusively on a three-point shot. Tonight they got outshot from the field and the three and won the game.
And they haven't shot the three ball really
It's coming. It's
for
coming.
a while,
Right.
but it feels like it is coming. Quentin Post has had his moment. Stephen Curry, again, 32 of 62 on this road trip. He was phenomenal, but the rest of the team hasn't come along there, including Jimmy Butler, who doesn't really rely on a three-point shot. We see that in the playoffs, but so far in his Warrior career, just 3 of 21 from three.
But again, they don't need the three when Jimmy Butler is out there. You saw them win this game again without Brandin Podziemski out on the floor.
Yeah.
Think about what that means defensively, that Jimmy Butler was out there to be able to help out with a Moses Moody so he could be aggressive on his man. Guy Santos can take chances because he knew that he had a Jimmy Butler and a Draymond Green on the back line of the defense. That's huge.
And when I'm watching the shots that they're creating. Tonight, a solid performance from the three-point line. But last night in New York against the Knicks 2 nights ago, when they were 5 of 23 at halftime, but they were getting great shots. And we're saying if they keep getting those looks, they'll knock them down. Second half, they go 8 for 14. I think a bunch of those nights are on the way.
No doubt about that. Now head out west for a 7-game homestand, feeling good about themselves. They go 4-1. Post-game live as we take a look at the team stat comparison. Again, the Warriors don't shoot the three ball great, but they out-rebound the Brooklyn Nets 45-32. 31 assists. Once again, that's been a magic number for them throughout the Steve Kerr run. 54-52 when it comes to points in the paint. The turnovers got a little hectic at times, especially in that first quarter. They'll want to clean that up on the homestand, but the free throw discrepancy there. 29-32 from the free throw line for the Golden State Warriors. 16-18 for the Brooklyn Nets, and they go 4-1 on this road trip, and they improved to 2-22 when trailing after 3 quarters. Let's hear from the head coach, the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, presented by BMW.
Very professional win tonight to come back from 22 down right out of the gates. Give them credit. They just were amazing that first quarter. They took it to us. And so for our guys to get settled and make a good comeback and take control of the game late was a hell of an effort and a great trip, 4-1 trip. And now we've got to go home and take care of business.
What did you make of Jimmy's game tonight, just kind of the way he took control at the beginning of the second?
Yeah, Jimmy he's a superstar. That's what superstars do. They take over games, and I thought that's what he did tonight. 10 for 10 from the line. It was an incredibly physical game, and so we needed the physicality that he brought to the game, and we obviously had a really good second quarter to get us back in it, and Jimmy kind of led the charge. Obviously, Steph got going as well, but it was a good response from that punch in the mouth.
You've seen so many Steph circuit shots. What's the degree of difficulty on that one?
That one was different too. I don't know if I've seen that one. Just the turnaround from 38 feet, whatever it was. And it was a big shot. He gave us momentum going into halftime. cut it from 8 to 5. It felt very manageable at that point, and you could tell it got him going too.
What do you make just over the 5-game trip as it pertains to Steph, just the combination of production and showmanship?
Yeah, Steph just had an incredible trip, put on a show in every city. What he does, it's amazing, just the show that he puts on, the joy that he brings to so many fans who are coming to see him play in all these different cities. Every fan base loves Steph, and there's a reason. He's an incredible performer.
Does it ever get old for you going to all these different arenas, and it's almost like a home game for the Warriors? I mean, tonight they were actively rooting against. Yeah, I mean
it's pretty awesome for us to feel the energy every single night of the season. The season is long, and on some teams there's some nights where the arena's dead. It's hard to get anything going, but our guys bring a lot of fans into opposing buildings and bring a lot of energy, and there's a great history with our team, and obviously we've got one of the greatest performers of all time who's still playing at such a high level, and so it's fun to feel the energy that the crowd responds with.
Coach, you've witnessed a lot of Steph Curry moments throughout his career, your career, of course. He's never dropped 40 points versus the Nets ever until tonight. Do you think he consciously knew that going into it?
Knowing Steph, yes. I think he knows stats. He reads up on stuff. Is that the last team that he hadn't scored 40 on?
No, there's one more, and ironically, it's the next game you play. Pistons.
Detroit. All right.
You think he's going to go for it again?
You'll have to ask him, but I think he goes for 40 every single night. I think it's just who he is. He's got a killer mentality. He loves putting on a show. He loves to shoot dagger shots. It's what he does. So, I don't know that the mentality ever changes with Steph.
What happened?
All right, we're always tracking for success, courtesy of our great friends at MyFitnessPal. Contain Cam Thomas. He started cooking late in the game, 23 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, but 8 of 18, Zena.
But being able to keep him limited at the line and not letting him open things up, especially for his teammates as well. 7 assists for sure definitely helped them. But if you can keep Cam Thomas under 24 points, which he averages, you're happy with that.
Staying active on the glass, Brooklyn with 13 second chance points. I felt like it came late in the game as they were trying to creep back into it.
Yeah, and this team is used to missing a lot of shots, so they attack the offensive glass. But I thought the Warriors did a good job, securing those defensive rebounds, and especially in the second half, controlled the pace of play.
Didn't need Curry to be a playmaker tonight, Zena. The Warriors did rack up 31 assists, but he just got straight buckets tonight, a 40-burger.
Look, he made for himself very nicely, very nicely. And that's what the Warriors needed at that point. They needed their leader to take over, especially when they were kind of lacking in that first quarter. And Jimmy, became the leaders that they needed, the veterans.
It's hard to get assists when they're double teaming you in the backcourt.
No.
You just get rid of the ball.
That was a crazy play.
But they would do it all. They do it a lot with Steph where, they get the ball out of his hands so early. Right. He should get an assist anyway because his teammates are playing 4-on-3 at best, most possessions.
Remember, they left him wide open, though, at that one last.
Go ahead, the last one, the night-night three. Before we get to GP2.
That wasn't from the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that wasn't on the scouting report, right? Before we get to GP2, his road trip, Stephen Curry averaged 35 points per game on this 5-game road trip, 55% shooting from the floor, 51.5% from the three-point line, while dishing out 8 assists, nearly grabbing 5 rebounds in 34 minutes. He's on a heater.
And free throws probably 100?
Free throws, 95%, 94.5%.
So 50, 50, 95.
Yes.
Okay, no more 50, 40, 90.
What we haven't given enough credit to is the non-Steph Curry minutes. The team being able to contain a team while Steph was on the bench, getting the rest he needs in order to come back and put those numbers up, incredibly important for the bench reserves to be able to do that.
That's a great point, because I think Steph comes in energized to increase that lead. And I also think on the opposite side, those teams are demoralized.
Right.
When Steph's on the bench there, that's when they're trying to make some hay. and the lead's going the other way. So it's a good point, Z.
Most 40-point games after 35 years old. LeBron with 15, Michael Jordan with 12, Steph Curry third on the list with 9.
I saw a stat tonight. Steph was second in the league in fourth quarter points behind SGA.
So he might get that clutch player of the year award again for his fourth quarter minutes.
They keep ending up in clutch situations.
No doubt. But GP2, how about his night? Playing with the nasal bone fracture. He missed the New York Knicks game, had to wear a mask tonight. Got into a little brouhaha at the end of the first quarter. But he played well. 16 points, 7 to 12 from the floor, 9 rebounds in 21 minutes, and 80 to his point of attack defense, which came on in the second quarter. It was MIA in the first quarter, Zena, I know.
It's funny he's got the mask on. I always think of Gary Payton II as like a bloodhound for baskets under the basket, right? Like he finds a way to get into the holes of the defense, in particularly transition, but also in the half court. And he had some really nice post moves tonight against a longer, athletic, physical, winged team in Brooklyn Nets. And very impressive play out of GP2, also taking the ball in his hands. He became a point guard for several plays tonight. That was huge to be able to keep things settled.
Yeah, 16 points and 9 rebounds from GP2 is an incredible efficiency. Impact the game both defensively and offensively. And Zena mentioned, GP2, if he doesn't like the three-point shot, and he's in the dunker spot, but he has great timing because you can't stay there all night long. He spaces. We talk a lot about, when you're out of the play, you're a spacer, you're a cutter, or you're a screener, right? GP2 has a tremendous feel for the game, when to do his role. He's got really good offensive chemistry with Steph Curry.
No doubt about that. Now, we do have an injury alert because Brandin Podziemski, who's also been playing so well for the Warriors since he's returned from injury, that right abdominal strain, he played 44 seconds. Came up playing with back injury here, but Steve Kerr mentioned that it's day-to-day and it's not too serious, so hopefully they can get him back as he suffers some back tightness there, Mully.
Yeah, well, no one wants to have a back spasm. We know that.
Yeah, somebody's struggling around here.
No one wants to deal with that, whether you're playing or commentating.
Or analyzing the game, huh?
Well, you could tell right away. He knew right away.
Right.
Yeah.
But like you said about that, he's been playing great basketball, which I think makes this win even more impressive. This guy's been a big-time contributor, next man up mentality. Tonight it was GP2 with 16 and 9. I thought Guy Santos again was phenomenal. QP came in, made some nice plays. And you mentioned JK, our guy Jonathan Kuminga coming back. Now, there was some great deals at the trade deadline this year, Warriors being one of them, Lakers with Luka. No one's adding a Jonathan Kuminga this late in the season. So that's something to look for another jolt of offense and defense, athleticism, and energy.
I can't wait for that, Zena.
I know. And what's so cool right now is that everyone on this team, even before Jonathan Kuminga rejoins the Warriors, everyone on this team is doing what they can to keep this team afloat and to keep it moving forward. I think I look down the roster and I'm like, Moses Moody plus minus 4. His defense tonight was huge. Even when he made a mistake, he'd go on the other end and try to get tangled up in a 50-50 ball situation. That level of energy, even if you can't find your shot, is important out of a Moses Moody, and everyone down this roster just stepping up in their role.
The unsung heroes, Moses Moody, 10 points, 5 rebounds, 20 of his last 24. He scored in double figures. But let's go ahead and follow the magic. And that's what Grandma Kitty, who came up from upstate New York down to NYC, Brooklyn, New York. Shout out Humboldt County. Stephen Curry knows Grandma Kitty was in the building. She keeps a scrapbook with all his numbers. That's her favorite player. Steph said that he never heard somebody clap for him so much during the pregame warm-up as he's making shots there. I know she's leaving Barclays Center a happy lady. Look at that. That is awesome. We thought Steph was going to take off the shirt for a second. Like, whoa, Steph. We got kids out here.
It is a little cold.